How you doing today, Nani?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Okay, now, tell us what grade are you in?
I am in 10th grade at Paisley.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 15.
Okay. Now tell me, what book do you have for us today?
I have The Interpreter by Suzanne Glass.
Okay. And what type of book is that?
It's a fiction novel.
Okay. Now, could you give us a little summary about The Interpreter? Just a little summary to tell us, our audience had it.
It's about a girl, and she's an interpreter. That's her job. And she goes to medical conferences to interpret, because the medical conferences she goes to are international, and so there are people from all around the world. So she knows all these different languages. And at one of the conferences, she overhears someone talking about a medical breakthrough that hasn't been publicized yet because the person that discovered it is afraid of what may happen, and it's a breakthrough that may serve as a treatment for HIV, and her best friend actually has HIV. And so she meets this guy and they start dating, and towards the end of the book she realizes that the guy she is dating is the one that discovered the treatment for HIV. And so it turns into a big argument between them, and she actually goes on a radio station to release the information that he has shared with her.
Okay. Now, which one was your favorite character in The Interpreter?
Nicholas. Actually, no. I think Anna. Anna is Dominic. Dominic is the girl that's the interpreter.
Okay.
Anna is her best friend that lives in another country. And I like Anna because she is just fun and carefree, and she lives without, limits.
Okay.
And so I like her for that.
Now, what was the most exciting part of Interpreter?
I would say when Dominic found out that it was Nicholas, her boyfriend, that actually discovered the HIV treatment, because that was just heated and everything.
Did you learn any lessons from The Interpreter?
Yeah, at the end of the book, Nicholas and Dominic meet for the first time since she's gone on the radio with his information, and he forgives her. And I learned a lesson of forgiveness, that it is important, and you can forgive anybody for anything. So I think that's important.
Okay. Now tell me, where is your most favorite place to read?
In my bed. I read in my bed.
Now, if you had a chance to write a book, what type of book would it be, and what would you write about?
I actually love to write. I do spoken word with a group called Authoring Action, and it's a Winston-based spoken word group. So I write poems, and I think I would do a collection of poems. I'm actually doing that now. So.
Well, could you read us a couple of pages from The Interpreter?
Sure. Okay. As I reached over to my bedside table and I answered the phone, that the outside world would fall into place with my decisions. In my ear, I hear the click of a long-distance connection, and as the inmates of the camps knew it in the click of a Nazi heel, so in that click at the end of the line, I knew it all. It hit me even before I heard her voice. She didn't really speak, though. She just made some sort of sound at the end of the line, some attempt at hello. Anna, that sound again, as though she were trying to talk but couldn't. Anna, is that you? Yes. I hear her take a long, deep breath, and she says, La fata finita. She says it in Italian, slipping just like Nicholas did into his mother tongue. And then her voice higher this time, she repeats herself. La fata finita. And though I had felt in my gut what was coming, the brutality of the words made it real. Too real to translate simultaneously. Too real to understand, to analyze, and to absorb all at once. So that though I understood the horror of their sense, still it took a few moments to translate them in my head. And it took weeks, months, a year even, to absorb the words that she repeated to me again on the phone, this time in English, in a voice that was lost and broken. He killed himself. He took an overdose. Dominic, do you hear me? He's dead. We practice. We read the text through twice, 3 times, 4 times. He reads his bits about a murder trial, an adoption bill, an anti-fur riot. I read mine about famine supplies, about an aircraft disaster, about U.S.-Soviet relations, and about Nicholas. Just like in the booth when the speakers have thought to provide us with a text beforehand, I practice reading and I feel little of that occasional fleeting pain in my right temple. In my ears, I hear the producer say, "It sounds good. 4 minutes and we're on air." I'm tempted to translate into French. I'm tempted to say, "Très bien. 4 minutes et l'on y va." And I do translate, though only in my head. Just that one sentence over and over again because it takes up time and because on my left I can feel James looking at me. The producer says, 1 minute and we're on air. James squeezes my hand, too hard, I feel it. The numbness has begun to wear off. He waits for the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He flicks up a switch and he begins to speak. The adrenaline pumps, just like in the booth. James reads his first item and I read mine. And these words about famine, supplies, and aircraft disaster are not yet my words. And it goes smoothly, just like in the booth. That transition from one voice to the next. He taps my hand. As I begin my sentence, the adrenaline surges. And that voice that I find this time, the voice, though harder at first to recognize, comes from somewhere deep within me. A European medical researcher based in New York has stumbled upon the key to a potentially life-enhancing new age drug. The discovery made within Landmark US has been kept under wraps for several months until the researcher, currently contractually bound by Landmark, can effect his move to a startup company, an offshoot of the conglomerate Slack Enterprises. To date, even if the management of Landmark is unaware of these developments, the researcher, who made his discoveries while working on pediatric leukemia, describes his findings as potentially a fourth way to complement the triple therapies and to combat the AIDS virus. And it is with the last word that the numbness is gone. In my ears, I hear the producer say, "Fabulous voice, Dominic."
Okay, well, I want to thank you for that fine